Alright, today we are going to talk about the distance and the slope formula. Both of these formulas are going to be very important for the next unit, so we have to know how to find the distance correctly and the slope correctly. So look at this segment here. So we want to find the length. It's not so easy to count, so that's why we have this formula. And then we're going to have to find the slope. So if I look here, what is this ordered pair? We start at always the origin, the 0, 0. So I go to the right one, and I go up and down nothing. So this is 1, 0. So I know my first ordered pair is 1, 0. The second ordered pair, start at the origin, to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To the up 3, so it would be 5, 3. So I want to find the distance between these 2 points, so I can label them x1, y1, x2, y2, and I can use the distance formula. Take a look at the distance formula. It does relate to the slope formula. If you notice, it is x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Do you notice how this y1 minus y2 is this numerator in the slope? And the x2 minus x1 is the denominator. So since they relate, we will be able to fast track this. So if I look, I'm trying to find the distance of this segment. Let's use the formula. So the distance equals x2 minus x1. So 5 minus 1 squared. Plus y2 minus y1, so that would be 3 minus 0 squared. Okay, we want to simplify whatever's in the parentheses first. So 5 minus 1 would give us 4. 3 minus 0 would be 3. So now I have to simplify those numbers underneath the square root. 4 times 4 would give me 16. 3 times 3 would be 9. So here I get the square root of 25. Well, we should know that's a perfect square, or we could type it in our calculator. So for the distance, the square root of 25, I don't need that square root symbol. Let me cross that off. So the square root of 25 would be 5, and that's what my distance would equal. Alright, let's be very smart about this. y2 minus y1, didn't I already do that right here? Isn't that 3 minus 0? So I could actually rewrite it, or I just know it's going to simplify to 3. It tells me right here in the formula. Over x2 minus x1, so 5 minus 1. I don't even have to think about it. It tells me from the distance formula. So I get 4. Can 3/4 be simplified in any way? No. So my final answer, so the slope is 3/4. Remember, m is representative of the slope, and the distance is 5. Alright, so if you look at the next one. Well, before we do, just in case you see the connection, if I was to draw a right triangle here, I actually could use the Pythagorean theorem to figure out the distance. Because this is 3 units long. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 units long. And you're trying to find the hypotenuse, d. So you really could have said d squared equals 3 squared plus 4 squared. And in the end, you would get 5 when you solve the Pythagorean theorem. But that is just in case you're given a picture. Sometimes you're not given it on a grid, so you have to use the distance formula. Alright, looking at the next one. What is this ordered pair here? So I have to go from the origin to the left 1, up 1, 2, 3. So it would be -1 since I went left, up 3. Okay? And then for the next ordered pair, I have to start at the origin, go to the right 5, up 5. Okay, Let's find the distance between these 2 points. I'm going to write these again under here so I can label them easily. So this is x1, y1, x2, y2. So the distance equals the square root. The formula, you should still be able to see it on your sheet, is x2 minus x1 squared. Do you see how this was a negative? I like to put these in parentheses to alert myself that this is a minus a negative situation. Plus y2, 5, minus y1, 3, squared. Okay, let's simplify this. Of course you can use your calculators, but remember, when there's a minus and negative, you do leave, change, change. So this would become a plus, this would become a plus, so 5 minus a negative 1 would actually become 6. If you wanted to use your calculator, absolutely, you could have said 5 minus negative 1 gives me 6. Okay, 5 minus 3, we don't need a calculator for that, that is 2. So now for the distance, I get 6 times 6, well that's 36. 2 times 2 is 4. So for the distance I get the square root of 40, and I can put that in my calculator and round to the nearest tenth. Square root 40, so I get 6.3 for the distance. So if you've done the distance, the slope is going to be a lot easier because you basically can use, since slope is y2 minus y1, remember y is always going on top, it's always vertical over horizontal over x2 minus x1, we could kind of look back at my formula. So what represented y2 minus y1? These were my y's here. 5 minus 3. You could write 5 minus 3, but I know that's going to simplify. The numerator is to 2. Look at the second one. It's going to be 5 minus a negative 1, which we changed to a positive, plus plus. So you could rewrite it down here, but I already know it's going to simplify to 6. Let's save ourselves some time. So 2/6, well, any fraction, I can't leave it like that. I have to simplify. So my slope would be, since I can simplify this to 1/3. Okay, try the next two, and then I will have a new video that will reveal the answers.